Hi, welcome back to my channel. So if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you're an AP Physics 1 student and you're trying to figure out how to get a 5 on this exam. Yes. Well, I've got some good news and some bad news for you. Good news is, yes, I am a credible source. Thank you for asking. I've taken the test last year and I've done pretty well on it. I'd say I did pretty well. The bad news is I'm not here to be your friend. I'm not here to help you at all, actually. I'm here to talk about my story, my experiences in this class, and how I think I made it a lot more bearable for all of us, or at least for me and my friend. Now, to fully understand my stories, you have to understand the class's dynamic. It was really weird, to say the least. Like, it was silent half the time, and no one really wanted to speak. And no, I'm not doing the first level, because, I'm good at parkour. Why would I do that? I say as I shift on every block and have to take time to make sure I don't fall after a 2-block jump. Anyway, we were all kind of uncomfortable half the time. We were kind of socially awkward. Not my fault, by the way. But no one wanted to add anything meaningful, anything profound to the class discussion, which I think made things 10 times worse. Now, my teacher, he was chill, but he was also kind of an enigma. It was weird in the way that if you laughed at his jokes, then the class would have a swell time. He'd be popping out jokes. Granted, they weren't always the best ones, but, I had to entertain myself somehow. I laughed at them. Call it community service. I'm a good person, right? Ooh, checkpoint. But if you didn't laugh at his jokes, then the classroom kind of became like an airport, to say the least. So it's like you follow the people in charge, you don't ask questions. You aren't here to have any funny business, you're just there. Fortunately, for everyone else's sake and for my own, me and my friend found a way to make the class pretty interesting for ourselves. Yes, at 8 a.m. in a physics class. Yes, it is possible. So imagine little Algieson, she's 15 years old. She's sitting at her desk and she's just chilling in Cedar Rapids. She's having a good time. She wants to be dramatic. I don't know, I keep calling myself she. I want to be dramatic, basically. So I want to flop on the desk and make a scene. Make a statement at 8 a.m. Because apparently I was all about that in 11th grade. See, but the most important thing about this story is that before... Oh my god. Please. Please, I've doomed myself. No. Before I decide to make this scene, I put my feet up on my chair. There's like these little book holders under the chairs. And so I tucked my feet under there, underestimating how easily my little child feet would get stuck, right? I lean forward, dramatically flop onto my desk. Bam! The chair absolutely obliterates me because I'm trapped. All of a sudden, I'm trapped and there's no way out. The only other path to take is just the path of humiliation, because here I am faceplanting into a desk. There's no way. My body weight has just completely shifted forward and I can't stop myself. The kid in front of me gets a desk slammed into his back. I feel bad for you, but think of my humiliation. And even worse, remember the dynamic of this class. No one said anything. They just stared. No one even laughed. Like, come on, you could have had my back. Me and my friend were laughing. After all, I could have just fainted. It looked like I did. But everyone else was dead silent, so I was like... All I said was, my apologies. Now, this next story, we were doing a lab. The spring lab, where you have to see how high a spring toy shoots up, and then you have to calculate the force of the spring, right? So his lab was pretty scuffed, because... Where am I? Oh. I hate everything. So his lab was pretty scuffed because he made us record with our phones in slow motion and then through that measure how high the spring jumped. Yeah. But me and my friend, we found this fun because, like, we were just watching the footage in slow motion. Yeah, we're 15, we're easily entertained, blah, 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 blah. My friend's just scrolling through my camera roll, which I know, dangerous, but I don't have anything to hide. I'm not a weirdo. But then, out of nowhere, he accidentally lands on this photo. Now look at the screen. I implore you to look at this screen because it's this funny picture of Jake Gyllenhaal looking at a mirror with an important message to tell the youth. Yeah, I hope you guys like that photo. Anyway, that was the entire story, but you can imagine it was very amusing, so we laughed really loud about it. Again, our teacher hit us with the, "Are you guys okay?" So before class started, me and my friend were walking together, and she accidentally hit my glasses off the top of my head. Needless to say, the lens popped out really easily, and I was freaking out because, after all, I'm blind. How do you expect me to get through my day when I'm literally impaired? But you know, I trekked on like a champ. Nah, I whined about it for a really long time. But then I was like, hey, what's the perk out of all of this? I get to go home. So my mom was gonna pick me up after third period, aka physics. And you know, I can leave physics class without making it interesting. That day we were doing a lab about motion detectors, and we had to track our own motion. Instead of doing actual work, I used my visual impairment as an excuse to dance in front of a motion detector for like 40 minutes straight. My teacher was like, "Hey, what are you doing again?" And I was like, "You know, I'm just nothing. I'm doing nothing." And then he hits me with the, "Why don't you put this much effort into class normally?" And I was like, I just laughed it off because I had no excuse. There was literally no excuse. I just didn't put effort. So this last one isn't, so this isn't really a story, but I just like to tell you a little bit more about our teacher. So our teacher was a bit of a realist, to say the least. He liked to crush kids' spirits young. See, our teacher, he'd like to remind us, not daily, maybe weekly, that, hey, I know you're AP kids and you think you're special because you're in a physics class earlier than everyone else, but you're not special. In fact, most of you will come out average by the skin of your teeth. You're gonna pass college. I mean, I already knew this. I've come to this conclusion a long time ago, but I didn't need to hear from you. But thanks for the advice, I guess. Imagine being like 15 and you just wake up to hear that. Look, I don't have to imagine, man. I lived it. I'm acting like I'm some sort of brave soldier. Nah, it's just funnier to tell the story that way. Our teacher would tell us words of discouragement, and then he'd be like, "You are most likely to fail." But then he'd hit us with with a 20-point curve, and I'd be like, "Hey, I haven't learned anything. And I'm gonna keep up my poor work ethic and laziness in this class." It was a vicious cycle that he enabled, but I'm not blaming him for anything. Show yourself. Show yourself, mysterious snacker. Hello? Since when did carpet make chewing noises? Again, I give up. If you're gonna take one thing away from this video, College War is a scam. It's $90 for you to take a test. That sucks. Don't be an AP student. Or if you want to be smart, don't take the classes and just sign up for the exams and study yourself. If you like this video, subscribe, comment, like. It's free and it's easy, and you can always undo that. You know what I mean? Thank you. Bye.